What's up, guys? It's the Carp here, back with another episode of How to Win Titles, and today we have a new club. You can see in the top left, I have joined Inter Milan, but I just want to look at the trophies that I won at Bayern Munich real quick. So we got the Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, the German Super Cup twice, the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup, and the Club World Cup. So yeah, every title that we could possibly win there, and we have moved to Inter Milan. I actually left Bayern Munich just to kind of facilitate a move. In that time, the AC Milan job popped up, but then the Inter Milan manager, I don't know who it was at the time, joined Bayern Munich, leaving the position open. And Inter Milan are in a pretty good spot. I played one game since coming in against Cagliari there. Luckily, they had went through against Pescara there in extra time, though, in the Italian Cup. They are still in the Champions League, and not that we need to win that competition anymore, but we are still in the Italian Cup, and we are only 6 points behind Juventus, which in real life would probably mean that we weren't winning the title, but in this game, they've drawn 2, lost 3 out of 21. They're definitely going to drop some more points, so hopefully we can overtake them. We've actually scored more goals in the league so far than Juve. But we've got a really good squad here. I have made a whole lot of transfers, so if we look at those real quick, a lot of these were actually made before I came in, so Cardi leaving, Politano, Perisic leaving, Galvin coming in, and I didn't do any of those. I did bring in Mahrez for 32 million, Asensio for 32 million. He's an absolute steal. Mahrez, some of his stats did go down as soon as I signed him, but hopefully they would jump back up. Regardless, he's a great player. And yeah, a lot of those other signings I didn't make. Since he came in, I sold him right to a different club. I brought in Vela for 12 million. It wasn't quite good enough to start for Bayern Munich, but a really good player. He can play anywhere along that front line. And he was only 12 million, so a really good price for him. But I'm not going to go through all of those. Let's just look at the squad. So this is our starting 11. Radu in goal. I'm playing him there instead of Handanovic, just because I think Handanovic is a little bit past that. He's still got some really good stats, but he's 36 years old at this point. He's only got 6 pace. I do prefer a goalkeeper that can be quick off his line, and his stats are going to decline pretty quick. Before me coming in, he conceded 10 goals in 8 games. But who knows? If we do concede, more goals than we should be, I can always, it's nice to have two good goalkeepers in the squad. But anyways, we've got Sydney, who I just brought in for 4.9 million as a ball-playing defender. That's because Inter Milan didn't have any ball-playing defenders in the club. I like to play with 2. Skriniar, a great player. I've looked at actually signing him for Bayern Munich, chose not to. But hopefully he can improve a couple of those stats. He used to have like 20 on tackling, decisions, and positioning, which are some key stats. Brought in Soma as well. Again, just a decent ball-playing defender. 6 million for him. Brozovic is still at the club from whenever he signed. That one's not recent. Galvin, the previous manager brought him in. Really good player. Can play at center mid and attacking mid. And actually, I'm going to try to train him in a couple other positions too. Let's work on his shooting. But anyways, we got Mahrez, who unfortunately is playing in the African Nations League second round right now, which is unfortunate that that's happening, just in the middle of the season. But anyways, then we got Asensio, quality player, left wing. He starts for me for Spain. Then we got Ericsson still at the club. Slightly, he's declined a little bit, but hopefully he can get those stats up. He did get a goal in his first game. He's a decent enough player. He'll probably start most games for us. And then we got Lukaku and Martinez up front. Both these players complete forwards. Lukaku, one of the players I was thinking about actually, spending like upwards of 150 million for him for Bayern Munich, but I decided against it. He's a quality player. I do usually like to have an advanced forward in there, but 2 complete forwards, I'm not going to complain. It's very rare to see that. Really, the last time a team's played like that over a long period of time is like Uruguay with Suarez and Cavani both up front. So hopefully Lukaku and Martinez can do well up there. And then that is the bench. Bastoni still at the club from previously. Jung I brought in for 2.7 million, I think. Emmer's there, decent young player. Barella, decent young player. El hopefully he can train up as a left wing and be a little more versatile, but he's not a bad right wing option. Got João Mario, who can play in the center. Worth 62 million for some reason. I could actually try and sell him and bring in some better players because he's not going to start for me. Esposito. This guy always turns into an absolute world beater, but hopefully he can do that sooner rather than later, so that we can use him at this club. Vela, as I showed earlier, and the rest of those players just making up the numbers. None of them are new signings. But anyways, let's get into this match. Today I am going to play Lazio away, and then I'm going to play in the Italian Cup quarterfinals. We actually had two really tough games here. But yeah, I need to get out Mahrez there, so Vela will go in, and then Lazaro, the only outside back that I kept in the club, that's because he is currently training as a right winger, and he's got decent stats, could be like Alphonso Davies for us, except for he's even a little bit better, but he's going to go on the bench. We don't have too crazy an amount of coverage in every position, but I wanted to make at least a couple big signings to really solidify the team, and then I made a couple of smaller signings. But we only started out with 60 million. It's still a decent amount, but when you're trying to rework a whole squad in one window, it's a little difficult to do. And I did have to sell a few players to facilitate that. Couple good highlights here early on against Lazio. One of the toughest games of the season, this. Still got Milinkovic-Savic in their team, and Acerbi getting them in the lead there. Decent center back Acerbi, but not the player I would expect to score the first goal of this match. Come on, guys. Let's actually... Ooh, Golovin with a goal. I am going to, I think, switch, since we do have two complete forwards up front, and Lukaku's got great aerial. Martinez has 13. I'm going to go for early crosses instead of the overlap. Hopefully we can get a couple headed goals from those two up front. Wouldn't mind a draw here, but we do really need to be winning. Oh, let's go. Martinez makes it 2-1. We need to be winning every game of this season if we want to win the title in the first year. It would be an incredible feat to do that, but would mean that we could move on at the end of the season, which would be insane, but it is possible. Let's make a quick sub there. I'm not going to make any more, it's too late in the game now, but it's looking like we're going to secure the win here. Just one more minute, and there we go. We have beat Lazio away, one of the toughest games for the rest of the season. When do we play Juve? Play Juve away in the 13th, so that's going to be a huge game. If we win that, we'll probably win the title. That's probably what it's going to boil down to, unless we do very poorly here. But anyways, let's get into the Italian Cup now. Against Napoli, another very tough game. Yes, that was a player I was trying to sell. Yep, we can have him. There we go. We might better bring in one more player to cover a forward position with that money. I'll see who's available. Actually, let's just look right now. We'll do this live. So, if I could somehow get someone that could play striker, right wing, and left wing, that would be ideal. We've got Esposito there. We got a lot of strikers on loan. We've got Salcedo. We could really use another left mid, I think. So we'll prioritize that, but for that position, I really just want inside forward. So pace, shooting, passing, dribbling is kind of like the base stats. Let's go 13 on all those and just see what comes up. And actually, I will do let's look at who's transfer listed first. Insigne and Malcolm and Sancho and Oyarzabal. I did try to bring in all those players. All of them were too expensive. He's not bad. 10 million PSG. Let's see how low we can get him. This will give you guys a little insight on how I do my transfers. I don't really mind doing this live. That's too much money. Although, was I competing with another club? I didn't actually pay attention. If you're competing with another club, you have to play at least what the other club pays. I'm not going to bring in Alexis Sanchez. That would be hilarious, though. If he came back after coming on loan, I'm not going to do that, though. Ikone, he can play at the right side. He's going to be too much, though. Yeah, he's going to be too much money. He's not good enough. This guy's not bad. He's not really got good mental stats, but if I can get him for very cheap, I will do so. Let's just try 3 million with a 50% sell on. Sell ons obviously I'm very okay with right now, just because you know, I'm only gonna meet these clubs short term. Come on. I mean, 5 million is the most I'm paying. Okay, so I'm gonna go for him. I do want to just go forward one little bit there to refresh this, and then let's go back in for Nzola here. Now, oh yeah, so it was Vallecano with the highest offer of 20 million. So yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to afford him. But let's try, if we take down passing, we look for more of a selfish player here. Pepe's too much money. Oh, we are on transfer listed as well. Let's do that. Let's just look at interested. Let's actually bump that back up. And let's add, which ones are important for inside forwards? I always forget. Decisions and movement. Obviously, it is nice to have, you know, something like creativity and positioning as well. But those are the base stats. Still got a few options here. Okay. Ooh, Everton actually is a very good player. That would be perfect. Okay, we're not signing him. Whenever they jump strip to 290 million like that, you know you're not getting a player. Trezeguet is also a very decent player. 20 million, we might be able to bring him in. Let's try 6.5. 50% sell on. 9 million. Do we have anyone that I can trade? I have a few extra center backs now. This guy, potentially, if they want a center back. They might not, though. They do. Alright, so 4.5 million. Gravelon there. I would prefer that to the other guy that I was trying to sign. Enrique, I've actually signed him in the past. He's a decent player. Signed him in previous saves, that is. Okay, but he's going to be too much money. Fisher, he's going to cost too much for sure. Yep, okay. So, it's going to be Trezeguet probably. Alright, so now let's get into this game. Soma needs a rest. Vela needs a rest. Lukaku will be fine. Mahrez is back, so that's perfect. And I like Godin, but 10 pace, and then he doesn't really have any passing or dribbling to make up for it. I mean, he could be a liability. Whenever the pace gets really 12 pace is like the least that I'm accepted with for a center back. I'm gonna get Jung in there. He was really a steal. 3.7 million, not 2.7, but still very good signing there. I will get Godin on the bench, and we'll go with that lineup. Mahrez can have 19, I guess, whatever. All right, so here we go. Napoli away in the Coppa Italia. Napoli obviously winning it in real life, but hopefully not in this save. Sydney with the opening goal. Very nice to see from him, our new signing. Hopefully he can keep a clean sheet as well. That'd be perfect. 4 shots on target to their 1 so far. I'm going to make subs here in just a second. Probably around 65th minute. Let's see, who is tired? Lots who are tired. Eriksson or Brozovic? Let's get Mario on, João Mario. Maybe. Actually, let's get Nicolo Barella on. And we'll move Golovin up to that attacking mid position. He's probably a little more suited to that, but between him and Eriksson, he's more suited to center mid than Eriksson is. I'm fine with a tight 1-0 win, but I really want to see some goals from our strikers. Something about a complete forward. Complete forwards just don't seem to be quite as good in this game as in previous ones. I am missing a left-sided substitute here. Yeah, I really need a left-sided player. Let's get Elyounoussi in there. I mean, he can play that position decently well. Save our last sub in case this goes to extra time. It's looking like, yep, it's going to end 1-0. Alright, so we are into the Italian Cup semifinals, and we are on for the league comeback at this point, I think it's safe to say. So hopefully we can catch Juve up and win the Coppa Italia and get ourselves 2 cups, well, a league title and cup in this first season here. But that is going to be the end of this episode. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.